Thank you, Noelle, for sharing that. So we're almost about to wrap up. Thank you all again for coming. We do have one more speaker and one more letter. So our next speaker is Michelle Clark.
I think I'm a little taller. So first off, I just want to thank everyone for being here, whether you're virtual or whether you're here in person. It's been a very long road coming, a lot of late nights and freakouts this morning, but we're here and we're almost done. Although we're not almost done, because unless everything changes, we will not stop. So, bear with me, I'm a very emotional person and it comes out one way or the other, so I'm going to let myself cry instead of it coming out the other way. When my daughter was almost 2, we knew something had changed with her. She was a chatterbox child full of sentences, letter recognition, counting, math, and instant recognition and love for everyone around her. We thought she was above par for her age. Just after her 2nd birthday, she changed. Limited eye contact, less and less words, to the point of none. Loud noises and gentle changes in routine caused an immediate shutdown and massive regression on all things on where she had been before. My mother was an EA in the Victoria School District for over 30 years. She immediately saw the changes and suggested that we get a doctor's opinion and formal testing for delays. We did this immediately and were put on wait list for assessment via Sunny Hill. During our wait time, we had another friend who had her son diagnosed privately in a little under 2 months wait. Our wait was just over 12 months. Now keep in mind this was 4 years ago. The wait time now has currently doubled. When she was first diagnosed, I immediately started getting her home team together. This included a BCBA, 2 BIs for in-home support. We also utilized the Surrey Child Development Center, both pre and post-diagnosis, for her one-on-one daycare support. It was the only way she was able to hold her spot. Without that one-on-one support from the Surrey Child Development Center, she would have not been allowed to go to daycare. She was also put on the waiting list through Surrey Child Development for speech, occupational therapy, and physiotherapy. These waiting lists were a minimum of 6 to 12 months as well. Once we did receive those services, we were then only allowed maximum of once every 2 weeks for a total of 6 months, and then we were placed back on a waiting list for another 6 to 8 months. We would have to, as you can imagine, all of the stop and start caused major regression, and we would have to start at square one every single time. We tried to hire private SLPs, but their wait lists were 6 to 12 months. Now, 3.5 years later, we have a solid home team, complete structure and routine, and our daughter is thriving. She has actual communicative conversations with us, usually revolving around Paw Patrol episodes. She's grown leaps and bounds with interactions with peers and is actually participating in day-to-day school processes. But don't get me wrong, she is on the upswing. But a few missed days, a week or 2 off from school and therapy, we see immediate regression in her gains. When her routine changes, so does she. So needless to say, the announcement last fall with the clawback of the individual funding scared me to the core. I know what happens with my children with change. I know the system will not work for us. She depends on routine. She depends on her team. She will regress to the point that I don't even want to think about with the loss of all of that. What bothers me? Actually, no, it infuriates me. The NDP and Mitzi Dean do not see these as harmful changes. They do not see these as detrimental changes to not only my child, but to all children that would be disrupted with these changes. They keep saying they consulted, but with who? Because I sure wasn't consulted. The 23,536 people that signed the petition that was presented when we were here On November 24th last year, they were not consulted. So who were these 1,500? We have been repeatedly asking for involvement. We've been repeatedly asking for clarity on the changes. And what have we been met with? Canned, pre-scripted responses or total silence. There is zero transparency in these changes. There has been zero meaningful consultation with these changes. And in the end, meaningful change cannot be meaningful without meaningful consultation. Unilateral decisions from the government without consultation with the many that this will affect is by definition a dictatorship. I believe in support for all disabilities, and most other disability groups do see this as a win. But all I can see is more and more wait lists, less children getting the support they need, and in our case and many others, losing the current services that we've had for years. This decision has done nothing but pit families and disability groups against each other and cause lifelong trauma and detrimental impacts to our children. Sorry. Why has the government not been listening to the feedback from parents, service providers, and disability groups on the consequences of this decision? They are effectively deciding the fate of our children's future with little to no compassion for what has been established and proved as successful for over a decade. BC used to be the province that supported children with disabilities. We were the province where families flocked to for support. We were the best province to live, work, and raise our children in. BC has been our home, my husband, myself, and my daughter, our whole lives. I have never considered leaving my home and my beautiful province, but now I'm faced with the biggest decision of my life. When my daughter was born, I made a promise to her, like all parents do, that I would do whatever was best for her. When she was diagnosed, I made another promise that very day, and I live by it every day. Sorry. I wouldn't change you for the world, but I would change the world for you. And that's why I'm here now. That's why I'm here today, to make sure my voice and all the voices of all of the parents and anyone affected by this are listened to. And we won't go away. If I have to come back here in another 3 months, 6 months, whenever, I'll be here, because I'm not going away.
Thank you, Michelle. So I'm going to read our final letter and then we're going to close it off.